Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 342. If you're writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book and you need some tips for finishing it, or perhaps you're at the stage where you need help reaching more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Writer Wednesday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., I-N-K, especially on social media. Every day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. An idea can only become a reality once it is broken down into organized, actionable elements. Scott Belsky. Well, once again, good morning. Happy Writer Wednesday. And as many of you have probably picked up on by now, several weeks in, I have a new Writer Wednesday series. Every Wednesday, I am giving you some of the highlights of my process of developing and writing books. And the best news is I'm doing it in the most actionable way I can think of. Rather than giving you a ton of details and content that might be hard to consume, especially in the format of our on average 5 to 7 minute daily show here, I'm simply posing 3 questions for each topic. So every Wednesday, what I do is I reveal one piece of my book development and writing process, a process, lots of P's there, a process people normally work with me one-on-one, through my book blueprint and book coaching services. And then, I deliver the piece to you via 3 questions so you can get to work writing your book, which is the most important thing. So here we go. Today's topic, and yes, we are still in the book blueprint stage for those of you following along, and my book blueprint, for those of you new here, is very, very simply, it's my very special book development process that I use to create a more solid foundation for you to write your book from than simply, kind of scratching down a table of contents on a Post-it note. My book blueprint is a more elaborate version of that, and it just gives you a more solid base for your book. So here in the book blueprint stage, we're in the architecture and table of contents part. And simply put, your architecture and table of contents, that's you figuring out how you're going to structure your book in a way that transports your readers from beginning to end without losing their attention. That's the goal of a good architecture and table of contents. And to make the difference, an architecture for me is more of a big picture. I like to put everything in pillars. I love the number 3. So an architecture for me is, part 1 of the book, part 2, and part 3. The table of contents is all the chapters that you'll fill in under those kind of Roman numerals. So that's the difference. So here are your 3 action questions on this topic, on your architecture and table of contents. Number 1. What are 3 life-changing ideas in your book? Now, this is a heart question, not a head one. A lot of the times when I approach architecture and table of contents, depending on the book, we're intellectually looking at the 3 major topics or the 3 parts of, some sort of self-help process or something to do with science. I have a lot of science-oriented clients. But for today, let's go with the heart. What are 3 life-changing ideas in your book? Thinking from the heart, what are 3 things in or about your book that you truly feel could change people's lives for the better? From the heart. Number 2, take all the other ideas and stories from your book and group them under those 3 things. Less of a question, more of an activity. Number 3, put each of these things on its, here's a great exercise that I love to do from screenwriting days. So now what you're going to do, just to recap so far, you've taken the 3 big pillars, like the 3, from your heart, things that you believe can change someone's life. Now you're going to take all the other ideas and put them under those 3 things, right? Now you're going to put each one of these things, each topic, on its own index card and arrange it in order. So, pick the order that you want to tell your story. Either on a table. I like to do this on the floor so I can really spread out. So, so you'll take, one topic, one story, one idea, I want to write about this time that da-da-da-da. Oh, I want to tell people this lesson I learned about da-da-da-da. That's, each one of those is an index card. So you spread them out on the floor from beginning to end, maybe in rows. And then what you do, you put yourself in your reader's shoes. You take yourself through the journey of your book as a reader. So almost like a movie. So, index card by index card, you're just going to stop at each index card and read the order of the topics and stories and scenes, or, whatever it is that you're putting in your book. See if any part of your sequencing doesn't make sense, or maybe fails to grab your attention, or it's just weird. Sometimes once you see the reason that this index card exercise works so well, especially for screenwriters, is that you can almost immediately see if something's out of order. You can just, okay, no, that doesn't go after that. That goes later. And like, okay, I put this, this thing where this was already explained in the wrong order after this and all this. So you can definitely find sequencing issues if you're putting everything that you want to put in your book on individual index cards. So now, with those 3 action questions and exercises, you are on your way to developing a solid architecture, and then, broken down further into individual chapters, your table of contents. So that's today's Writer Wednesday exercise. Tune into next week's Writer Wednesday episode of Your Daily Writing Habit for the next part of my process for developing and writing a book. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook to really share anything that's on your mind, especially your 2020 writing goals and how they're coming along and how we can help you. Until tomorrow, happy writing.